If you thought Hollywood breakups were messy, buckle up, because Hazel E and Chrisean rock just launched a tag team meltdown that makes the Kardashians look like they're running a meditation retreat. Out of nowhere, these two explosive personalities united like the Avengers of petty revenge and pointed their rage straight at Blueface, accusing him of using them, draining them, and tossing them aside like expired coupons at Dollar Tree. And when these two snap, oh baby, the internet doesn't just react, it combusts. This whole thing erupted so fast, people barely had time to blink before the timeline caught fire. 1 minute, Hazel E was minding her business, posting glam selfies and inspirational quotes nobody asked for. The next, she was dropping emotional bombs like she discovered season finale secrets the producers tried to hide. Meanwhile, Chrisean entered the chat with the same chaotic confidence that turns every room she walks into a live demolition site. Together, they turned a simple accusation into a digital earthquake. And the wildest part? The leaks. The hints. The whispered receipts. The suspicious posts that appeared and disappeared like they were being controlled by a scandal-loving ghost. This isn't just drama, this is a scandal so messy, so unpredictable, and so unbelievably entertaining that even Zeus Network executives are probably taking notes. The scandal didn't begin with a shout. It began with a simmer. Hazel E had been suspiciously quiet for weeks. The kind of quiet that makes fans squint at their phones like, yeah, something's cooking. She posted cryptic quotes, deleted a few pictures, and suddenly started talking about self-worth and no longer being used. When celebrities start posting motivational messages, everyone knows the truth. A meltdown is on the way. And right on schedule, Hazel E went from calm to volcanic in a single tap of the Go Live button. She came online like she had a month's worth of unsent paragraphs stored in her chest. Her voice was shaking, her eyebrows were fighting for custody of her forehead, and her eyes had that unmistakable "I'm done pretending" glint. She didn't name drop Blueface immediately. Oh no, she teased it, danced around it, sprinkled hints like she was seasoning a scandal stew. But the internet didn't need her to finish the sentence. Everyone watching already knew exactly who she was talking about. The king of chaos himself. The moment she said she felt used and thrown away, the timeline exploded. Fans wrote essays, trolls wrote jokes, and bloggers started drafting headlines before the live even ended. And Hazel E wasn't done. She spoke about manipulation, false promises, and emotional whiplash. She said she was tired of being treated like a temporary accessory in someone else's circus. Every sentence she dropped felt like a confession ripped straight out of a reality TV reunion script. Her words didn't just hit, they cracked open a whole new chapter of Blueface's messy legacy. But the shockwave didn't peak until Chrisean entered the storyline. If Hazel E delivered emotional chaos, Chrisean delivered physical chaos. One random afternoon, she hopped onto her own live with the energy of someone who woke up and chose destruction as a wellness practice. She didn't speak softly or hint gently like Hazel E. She came in swinging with that signature "I will flip a house over if I feel like it" vibe. She declared Blueface had used her too. Drained her emotionally, drained her financially, drained her spiritually, and then kicked her aside like she was an unplugged iPhone. As soon as Chrisean said, "He used me too," the world flipped upside down. People started comparing the situation to a crossover episode nobody expected. Hazel E and Chrisean had never been aligned, never been allies, never even pretended to like each other, but suddenly they were united by the same enemy. It felt like the Avengers of heartbreak forming to fight a villain who had way too much fun being toxic. The internet immediately held a meeting and decided this alliance was more shocking than any plot twist Zeus Network has ever produced. Behind the scenes, rumors were already spreading like wildfire. Screenshots began circulating showing old messages, vague conversations, and blurry photos that fans interpreted like crime scene investigators. Everyone had a theory. Some said Blueface only reached out to Hazel E to elevate his brand. Others insisted he emotionally manipulated Chrisean during her most vulnerable moments. The truth didn't matter. The internet already chose chaos as its truth. The first major leak dropped an hour later. A blurry recording surfaced of Hazel E crying on the phone, allegedly talking about how Blueface promised collaborations, friendship, mutual support, and then switched up like the seasons. Whether the clip was real, outdated, or edited didn't matter. The timeline didn't care. The timeline adopted that clip like it was their new emotional support scandal. Meanwhile, fans were digging into old videos of Blueface like archaeologists uncovering ancient scrolls. They replayed old interviews, analyzed tone, examined body language, and declared that all signs were there. Suddenly, everyone became a Bluefaceologist. One user even wrote a 4-paragraph comment explaining how Blueface shows the classic signs of emotional opportunism, as if they had a psychology degree from TikTok University. Through all of this, Blueface remained silent, and silence is deadly in celebrity drama. To the internet, silence means guilt, panic, or an evil plan. Commenters flooded his pages demanding answers. Others defended him, insisting he was being unfairly attacked. Some said Hazel E was clout chasing. Others said Chrisean was finally speaking her truth. And a few insisted Blueface was just being Blueface, chaotic, detached, and allergic to responsibility. Then another twist arrived: a voice note leak. A short audio clip spread with someone sounding exactly like Blueface saying, "People always feel used when they don't get what they wanted." That one sentence shifted the entire mood. Fans freaked out. Members sharpened their tools. Critics wrote deep analyses claiming the line exposed his personality. The internet was convinced they had found the smoking gun. Hazel E doubled down by posting a mysterious caption about fake love wrapped in charm, which fans immediately tied to the drama. Chrisean posted a picture with no caption, and somehow thousands of people treated it like a coded message. Some said her eyes looked tired from betrayal. Others said she looked dumb with the nonsense. And few claimed she looked ready for a boxing rematch. Everyone projected their narrative onto her face like it was a movie. The scandal grew legs, arms, and a gym membership. It was everywhere. Every gossip page talked about it. Every reaction channel made a video about it. Every messy friend group debated it in the group chat. It felt like the universe scheduled this drama like a national holiday. Hazel E's confession lit the match. Chrisean's declaration threw gasoline. And the leaks? Those were the fireworks. What truly shocked people was how similar their stories were. Two very different women describing the same emotional pattern from the same man. Two personalities known for clashing suddenly unified by shared pain. Fans didn't know whether to cry, laugh, scream, or grab popcorn. Some were rooting for them. Others doubted them. But everyone agreed on one thing: the storyline was too wild to be ignored. What made things even more dramatic was how each woman expressed her side. Hazel E delivered her hurt like a diary entry ripped from a heartbreak movie. Chrisean delivered hers like a battle cry from a warrior queen who refuses to be silenced. Both versions of the truth, emotional in their own way, created a perfect storm of relatability and chaos. People began picking teams, choosing theories, and writing essays trying to piece the puzzle together. And through it all, Blueface still hadn't spoken. His silence became the loudest sound in the room. Fans waited for a statement, a tweet, a denial, a clapback, anything. But nothing came. The tension climbed higher, the memes got messier, and the internet braced itself for the next explosion in the saga, because this wasn't the end, it was only the opening act. The upward jumped from dramatic to downright cinematic once other celebrities started chiming in. Influencers who hadn't posted in weeks crawled out of their algorithmic graves just to give their 2 cents. Rappers, reality stars, podcast hosts, even comedians found a way to slide into the conversation like they were auditioning for a spin-off. Suddenly, everyone wanted a slice of the Blueface backlash pie. It felt less like a scandal and more like a celebrity block party where the only requirement for entry was an opinion and a Wi-Fi connection. The meme community didn't waste a single second. They started rolling out edits faster than emergency responders. There were videos of Hazel E and Chrisean dressed as superheroes striking back at Blueface. There were animations of him being launched into space after using and tossing, winning like he was running an emotional recycling center. One meme compared him to a phone charger that works only when it wants to. Another meme showed Hazel E and Chrisean standing back to back like a buddy cop movie poster, ready to take down the ultimate villain. The internet had collectively decided to turn heartbreak into comedy. But the real earthquake hit when a viral TikTok theorized that Hazel E and Chrisean weren't the only ones claiming mistreatment. Suddenly, old clips resurfaced of other women complaining about Blueface's emotional detachment. broken promises, and Houdini-level disappearing acts. Fans acted like detectives discovering a secret timeline Marvel never released. They formed entire Reddit threads, cross-referencing dates, screenshots, breakups, reconciliations, and suspicious coincidences. The drama had grown limbs and developed its own ecosystem. The pressure bubbled until Chrisean couldn't stay quiet. She hopped back online with the kind of intensity that makes people sit up straighter, even if they're lying down. Her voice cracked between rage and exhaustion, as she spoke about being loyal to someone who treated her like a backup charger. She talked about empty reassurances, mixed signals, and moments where she felt valued only when it benefited him. Her raw honesty hit people harder than any leak. She wasn't just angry. She was hurt. And that pain echoed across the internet like a siren. Hazel E responded in her own way, dropping a tearful message about being blindsided by someone she trusted. She claimed she tried to uplift him, support him, collaborate with him, and got tossed the moment she wasn't useful. Fans immediately split into two emotional camps, one side furious on her behalf, the other pointing fingers at Blueface like they were prosecutors delivering closing arguments. Every new detail from Hazel E felt like another nail in the coffin of public sympathy for Blueface. Then came the moment that nobody expected, an alleged text message leak. A few blurry screenshots appeared online showing what looked like flirtatious messages from Blueface to Hazel E promising a project that never happened. Whether real or fake, the audience didn't care. The screenshots spread faster than common sense. Comment sections filled with "I knew it," and "he's been playing games," and "this man treats emotions like trial subscriptions." Blueface's silence was becoming suspicious. Fans turned into emotional psychics, predicting what he would say if he ever responded. Some thought he'd deny everything. Others expected a sarcastic shrug. A few thought he'd simply post a picture flexing his muscles like drama couldn't touch him. But days passed and not a word left his mouth. His silence became a statement, and the entire internet interpreted it however their imagination desired. Influencers started making reaction videos with titles like "Blueface Exposed" and "Hazel E wasn't lying," and "This saga is getting out of hand." These videos gained millions of views overnight, fueled by viewers who needed updates like they needed oxygen. Even the drama-fatigued crowd kept watching because each twist felt crazier than the last. People who had no previous interest in Blueface suddenly became experts in his relationships. The scandal had officially transcended fandom. It was now a mainstream spectacle. Then another bombshell dropped. Someone leaked a voice memo supposedly of Hazel E telling a friend she felt manipulated into thinking there was a future. Fans dissected every word like it was a sacred scripture. They quoted lines, remixed them, slowed them down, sped them up, and turned them into TikTok sounds overnight. The message became proof, at least to the internet, that Hazel E wasn't lying or exaggerating. Chrisean's response was even more explosive. She made a statement that she had been doing everything for a man who didn't do anything but drain her energy. She didn't mention Blueface by name, but everyone knew exactly who she meant. The passion in her voice was enough to shake anyone who listened. Clips of her speaking were shared everywhere, captioned with phrases like, "She's finally speaking her truth," and "This hit deep." At this point, public sympathy shifted almost completely to Hazel E and Chrisean. The narrative forming online was brutal toward Blueface. Commenters called him a professional user, a walking red flag, and the final boss of emotional manipulation. Memes portrayed him as a malfunctioning robot that needed a software update. People joked that therapy should sponsor him, because the drama was promoting their services for free, but the drama didn't stop there. Someone claiming to be close to the situation posted anonymously saying that Hazel E and Chrisean weren't lying, that Blueface had a pattern of using connections for visibility and then ghosting. The internet treated the anonymous message as gospel. Blogs picked it up. Reaction channels analyzed it. Twitter users posted threads longer than legal documents, breaking it down line by line. Meanwhile, Blueface finally posted something, not an explanation, not a denial, not an apology. Just a gym selfie. The internet lost its mind. Some people said he was mocking the situation. Others said he was avoiding accountability. A few called him bold for posting anything at all. The comment section turned into a digital riot. Fans from every corner flooded the posts with demands for answers, insults, jokes, and emotionally charged paragraphs he probably didn't even read. Hazel E posted again, saying she was tired of being painted as dramatic when she was just telling her truth. Chrisean reposted a meme about never letting a clown turn your life into a circus. Their combined commentary kept the fire blazing. Fans created edits of the two women side by side, calling them the duo we didn't expect but definitely needed. Some even launched hashtags demanding Blueface be held accountable, turning the situation into a full-blown movement. But the biggest twist of Part 2 arrived when someone leaked a clip from a private conversation allegedly involving Blueface, discussing women he kept around for convenience. The audio wasn't crystal clear, but clear enough for the internet to run with it. Reaction channels exploded. Fans went viral. People said the clip was the final nail, the smoking gun, and the moment everything made sense. As the frenzy grew, new voices chimed in: ex-friends, former associates, old collaborators, even randoms claiming to know things. Some defended him, saying the clips were exaggerated. Others doubled down, saying everything matched his behavior. It was chaos stacked on chaos, with no signs of slowing down. Hazel E and Chrisean didn't slow down either. Every new leak added to their credibility in the eyes of the public. They didn't have to attack anymore. The internet was doing it for them. The scandal had taken on a life of its own, spiraling past anything any of them could control. And the craziest part? Everyone knew it was building towards something even bigger. A shift, a confrontation, a reckoning. This saga still had a monster twist waiting to drop as the chaos reached its peak. The aftermath hit harder than anyone expected. The public wasn't just entertained anymore. They were emotionally invested, choosing sides with the same seriousness people reserve for elections or sports championships. Hazel E's supporters became warriors in her defense, reposting every clip, every message, every emotional line she dropped. Chrisean's fanbase, already trained in online battles, backed her with unmatched intensity, ready to go to war with anyone who dared minimize her pain. Blueface, meanwhile, found himself standing in a digital storm that kept getting louder. Brands, blogs, and gossip pages started publishing think pieces about the incident like it was a national crisis. Headlines popped up everywhere asking whether Blueface's reputation was finally cracking under the pressure. Others questioned whether Hazel E and Chrisean had sparked a new movement against emotional manipulation in the entertainment industry. The conversation grew so big that even people who had no idea who Blueface was suddenly jumped in discussions as if they had been fans for years. What shook people the most was how similar both women's stories were when laid side by side. Two completely different personalities, different lifestyles, different worlds, yet both describing the same emotional roller coaster. The internet began rewriting the narrative into a universal lesson about men who promise the world and then disappear like software trials. People shared personal experiences in the comment sections, turning the scandal into a communal therapy session no one signed up for. Hazel E's energy shifted from hurt to clarity. She posted longer messages explaining how she realized her worth, how she ignored red flags, and how she let herself believe someone's potential instead of their actions. Her vulnerability made people rally around her even more strongly. Every word she posted was shared, reposted, edited into inspirational clips, and treated like a healing seminar disguised as a scandal. Chrisean's approach was louder, rawer, and more explosive. She didn't hold back. She spoke about moments where she felt betrayed, unsupported, overlooked, and mentally drained. Her confessions hit deeper than anyone expected because they weren't sugar-coated. They came from the same woman fans watched fight, cry, laugh, and break down publicly over the years. When she opened up, it felt like she was releasing years' worth of suppressed truth all at once. Blueface finally responded, and his response triggered another avalanche. He didn't choose empathy or understanding. He chose defiance. His first comment was dismissive, claiming people were overreacting and doing too much. He suggested the drama wasn't serious and that people needed to stop being emotional. It was the exact opposite of what fans wanted to hear. His statement poured jet fuel on an already blazing fire. The internet erupted instantly. Comment sections filled with anger, disappointment, and disbelief. Even people who weren't fans before were suddenly disgusted by the way he minimized their experiences. Content creators made videos analyzing why dismissing someone's feelings is a form of emotional dismissal. The backlash went from entertainment to accountability overnight. Hazel E clapped back with a subtle but powerful message about not allowing someone to rewrite her truth. Chrisean clapped back with a not-so-subtle comment that sent shockwaves across every platform. She wrote something along the lines of "People always minimize your feelings when they're guilty," and fans treated it like the quote of the year. Everywhere you looked, someone was reposting it with fiery captions. The scandal evolved into something bigger, a conversation about respect, honesty, and emotional boundaries in relationships, especially in the entertainment world where manipulation can be masked as opportunity. People didn't just see Hazel E and Chrisean as dramatic women anymore. They saw them as women who dared to speak up about something many experienced privately. Their voices grew louder, and their courage to expose the truth became a rallying cry. Blueface tried to brush it off again, but his efforts only made things worse. Every post he made, no matter how unrelated, was flooded with comments calling him out. He couldn't escape it. Every emoji, every selfie, every music clip turned into a battlefield. His followers split into two groups: those who blindly defended him and those who demanded accountability. But the latter grew louder each day. As the tension escalated, more leaks surfaced. Another voice memo, more screenshots, and even a blurry video clip that people swore showed Blueface admitting he likes attention from multiple women. Whether authentic or not, the leaks shaped the narrative. The public already made up their minds. Blueface was guilty in the court of social opinion. Hazel E and Chrisean didn't even have to keep talking. Their supporters were doing the job for them. Celebrities chimed in, influencers reacted, and thousands of fans uploaded videos discussing the scandal like it was a research project. The two women went from victims of manipulation to symbols of empowerment. Their strength, their truth, their transparency created a wave that couldn't be ignored. Eventually, Blueface's name became a trending topic, not for music, not for shows, not for wins, but for controversy. And in an industry where reputation means everything, being known as the user and disposer wasn't a good look. People began questioning their support, questioning his relationships, questioning his intentions, and even calling for boycotts. Hazel E leaned into healing, focusing on rebuilding her energy and reclaiming her narrative. Chrisean leaned into self-worth, promising fans she was done letting anyone treat her like an option. Both women began posting content that felt lighter, stronger, more grounded, as if exposing the truth had stripped away dead weight. And as fans watched them rebuild, they found themselves cheering for them harder than ever. The scandal had created an unlikely alliance, a storyline nobody expected, and a powerful transformation moment for both women. Their stories didn't crumble them, they exposed the cracks and patched them with resilience. Blueface, on the other hand, struggled to control the narrative. His attempts to act unaffected made him look more guilty. His jokes felt forced. His energy seemed off. Even his supporters couldn't deny that the scandal left a mark. He wasn't cancelled, but he was definitely cracked. Every move he made now came with suspicion. Every post came with backlash. Every woman who interacted with him got comments warning her to run. By the time the dust settled, one truth remained clear. Hazel E and Chrisean didn't just expose a man. They exposed a pattern. A pattern that resonated with millions. A pattern people recognized in their own lives. A pattern that made this scandal bigger than gossip. It became a mirror, reflecting something people often ignore until it's too late. Their voices created a movement. Their pain created awareness. Their unity created a cultural moment the internet won't forget. And Blueface? He became a cautionary tale that people are still discussing, but everyone knew the story wasn't truly over. Not with these three. There was still more to unfold, more receipts to drop, more drama to simmer. Because in the world of celebrity chaos, the next twist is always waiting, and this trio has proven time and time again that calm is never permanent. The world watched the smoke rise from this emotional battlefield, knowing full well that another explosion could hit at any moment. If he made it through this entire emotional earthquake without dropping your phone, losing your patience, or screaming into a pillow, Congratulations, you're officially built for celebrity chaos. And since you clearly thrive off scandals that hit harder than reality TV reunions, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you child support. Don't tap it gently. Hit it with the same energy Hazel E and Chrisean brought when they exposed Blueface for using them like trial subscriptions. And while you're at it, drop a comment and tell me whose side you're on, because the world is split. Are you riding with Hazel E, the queen of glow-ups and emotional clarity? Are you backing Chrisean, the warrior with a heart that refuses to stay quiet? Or are you here for the spectacle, munching popcorn while the timeline burns? Your comments aren't just comments, they're fuel for the next episode. Receipts for future drama and therapy sessions disguised as YouTube engagement. Most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Because in this universe, peace lasts about as long as Blueface's attention span. New scandals drop faster than people can refresh their feed. And you already know Trend Tattle is the only place where the tea stays scorching. The commentary stays unhinged, and the truth shows up dressed like a plot twist. Turn on notifications unless you enjoy missing celebrity meltdowns that could feed the internet for days. This is Trend Tattle, where we don't just report the drama, we stretch it, season it, and serve it sizzling hot. Stick around because the next scandal is already loading. And trust me, it's going to be even messier.